just what happened to my screen, dude? And let's just go with h6 for a second. Gotta think that white's a little bit better. Well, we gotta get to critical mass here. So I'll try queen e2. Right, and don't forget, this guy is actually really fast too. b5. The highly desirable move is simply bishop g2, and how did that line go again? Once again, bishop b7, f4, okay. b4, he's got his ideas still. Bishop takes b4, castle. So I don't see why this shouldn't be good. Castles? And back here, I was thinking I could play knight a4. Knight takes d4. He's ripping you to shreds. a5, g5. Okay, let me take the pawn on g5. All right, and then, okay, let me take the pawn on g5. Okay, so if I just continue, because I'm a pawn grubber, you know me. Look at this horrible knight on h7. And b3. Black he's the one who has to find all of these really important defensive moves.
Again, after many countless master games, it is considered that the only move for white, is the move queen g4.
c4 takes d5, takes d5. It really does feel like it comes right out of some kind of Ruy Lopez, doesn't it? King g2, rook e7, knight c3, queen to e8. Well, if you're going to be insistent, g6, queen g8. Well, fair enough. I think that is absolutely the way I would judge the position as well. Well, I want to capture on e4. Queen b5. And I'm not used to such tactics. Queen takes d5, which is okay. c4 takes d5, bishop to e7. h5. Bishop f8, the standard move. d6. Right. Suppose I did something like knight f6. gf6. Christian, I need some help here. d7. Well, then king g7. Queen d7. Check the magic of television. Bishop to e7. And now after queen g7. Okay, very nice. Okay, that was a fun game. I want to go e5 ASAP, of course. Knight on f3. Maybe you just want to do something solid? Suppose I did something like knight f6. b5, bishop on b3. d5 captures e5. Actually, it's a bit awkward. Bishop e6, c3. Bishop c5. Yeah, I wouldn't go for this.
Castles?
Bishop c2. I don't want black to get in all of the moves with a check. Now, why would we play f6, though? I mean, king g1. No question about it. Yeah, f takes e5, knight f1, bishop g4, knight e3, bishop to e6, b3. It's strange what little I know about this position. e4. Do we like knight d4?
So, position is
Knight take d4,
very unclear.
c take d4,
All
c6.
pieces handing and time also. All players now going to side.
Queen b6.
Prevention, some prevention. a3. Bishop e2.
Yes. Yeah.
So, slightly better white.
Bishop c3. Rook f2.
On one breath plate. Yes, move by threads. Beautiful game.
Yes.
Rook a2.
Should play sharp. Rook c2. Yes. He played queen d1 and now his plan is clear.
What to play I didn't see.
Yes. Bishop, where to put bishop? Bishop c8.
Also not easy to improve. b4. Will answer it by a4.
Yes.
Bishop h4.
Little bit, yes. Not improve, but trying to show all the best, all. Bishop d7. Yes. Rook c1.
No, bishop e8. Yes, we mentioned this move before. Most natural move, bishop e2.
Bishop d7.
Rook c5. Okay, sure, it will be some compensation. Yes, bishop e7, yes. Material advantage for white. Bishop h4.
King g6. No, rook f4.
What about queen e1?
Rook f8. Sharp.
Not bad idea. Because bishop g3 should be played fast.
Yes, maybe queen b6. h4. Yes. Again.
h5.
Ah, h6. I didn't see h6. Yes. Tempo move, yes.
What about knight g4 working or not? But okay, still he must know something. But why not take on g4?
Yes.
Check.
Okay, king f8.
Bishop e5.
The only
But
thing
why
is,
not
in this
okay?
case, king g1, black. Rook to c1, and now very precise, king to e7. And you're getting hunted. Rook f1 was played, by the way. Queen to d8. Bishop takes g7. You have to help me. Bishop f6 is pretty much forced. Check. But he's decided to go all in, forcing king to e8. He can still play rook f4. e3. Bishop to e5. Playing very dynamically. King e7. And bishop sitting on f5. That was a spectacular. By the way, and something else I got to tell you looks really weird. And of course, queen d8, rook g6. Love it. I think it's fantastic. And after bishop to e6, check, forcing king to e8, played rook back to g8, check. And now very precise, king to e7. Well, rook takes d8, pressing on this side, g4, king e7, rook to g8. Let's go. With check, c5. In this position, it looks like the position is supposed to be equal, triple zeros according to the engine. c6, I mean, resign, guys. Knight to f6, e5. Knight d5. And after the move, d4, d6, now c4. Looks like the first big blunder. And then knight to b6, f4. And I should point out, by the way, guys, this knight moved to c6, and the move bishop e3. e6, knight f3. He's got threats in the position, but the excitement is definitely brewing. The center is already breaking open. So now the move queen e7. How many times do you see that? a3, as he is now playing the move f6. However, rook c1 quite possibly would be strong. That bishop on g4 is such an anemic piece. Bishop to e2, this is really baffling. Castling queenside. And the engines actually think that castle, at first anyway, that castle was the best move here. Bishop takes f3, doesn't do anything. He's slippery, huh? gf6. So I think it's probably not enough to win the game. And we see that bishop takes f3, doesn't do anything. Dynamic play. And what's amazing about this position is, watch out. Quite strong here. So, like 2-3 moves a second. Just instant. And f5, bishop takes c6. In this position, he must feel confident in his calculations. Another move typical of this position is queen e2 and bishop to g7. Whoa. And that's not so bold either. It's not like he has to do too much. He just has to play a couple of natural looking moves to my eyes. Well, okay, king h1. He was safe on, relatively safe on g1. h3. And now, that was quick. Back to the action. And now it's just all attack. Everything is going exit stage right. This move, c5, the engine's first choice, knight d5. Essaying this idea. At any rate, rook 8 instead of rook a6. He might be dead lost, but somehow he keeps complicating the game and saying, find a win in this position. It's supposed to play a5, b4. So in this position, psychologically, every once in a while, you wanna snap a move. Keep following me. I got more moves for you. Man. Even when he's in the grave, he's still fighting and punching back and finding those only moves. Queen d7. And now rook to b1. This is just inexplicable stuff. Well, check. This game has exploded as we expected. Right? A jewel, queen d2. Real deal. rook to b8, and the game continues. And he's clearly very nervous. Queen back to e3, bishop e7, d5. Queen takes d5. You know, it's funny to see moves like this. Oh, b5 was played here. So in this position, c6 check, bishop to c5. He's going to have all the bullets in his gun, and guess who's going to be looking on back to old pastures? Well, guess what happened? King g1. Engines are thinking that this last move was horrific. e5. Yeah, what are you going to do? Make a move. Well, king f2. Instantly rook back to g8. But rook c1, e4 was played, and it's just such a pleasure to be able to offer advice that for me is just simple stuff. Just
an amazing idea.
C, bishop b4.
Rook d1 was played here. Rook g6. At first thought, I'm like, oh, rook d4, there's so many possibilities. Rook e6, just being like, I'm playing h4, buddy. So wow. Maybe the idea is something like this. Oh god, lots of moves were played. h5 was played. And why not? f3, check. Now, there's a lot of possibilities here for white. And then after this, I don't know, check. So I was very wrong. This pawn kind of mattered a lot. Rook c1. Kind of keep things floating. Bishop d2. Because rook e6 looks like a move that people might play. King e3. You know, it sort of deserved a better fate a bit. Rook c5. Yeah. Rook e7 now. Threatening probably some sort of obscene checkmate. That was not very useful for him. White does want to think about these types of moves. Not here, again. You can't really do it here because of reason. c5. Rook e6 here. Check. Damn it. Ugh. I mean, don't quite understand what you're going for here. Like, I mean, other than just losing. a6. Check. Bishop e3. And apparently he played b4, which is not maybe the most accurate move. Okay. Alright. Rook c6, b3. Man, this is a little harder than I thought it would be. Rook d8, rook c7. Yeah. Kind of hard to stop. I'm not sure. Check. Check. Yeah, obviously, there seems to be a certain focal point going on here. Rook f3. Check. King c4 makes a lot more sense. I can't even, I mean, like, okay, alright, I should say what's going on in my own mind, but, like, it's probably, like, so inaccurate as to be laughable. No. Rook f2 now. So a move has been played. Bishop e3. Slowly but surely. Jesus. Psych! Shit. King d5. I'm happy about that. Bishop e3. I can't. Looks very solid. Then after that, so there's a little bit of a something. It's not really, but you know, I mean, but so and then we're gonna get really bored. We're gonna get bored, and we're gonna get more bored, and then we're gonna get even more bored than that, and then we're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna play Hearthstone or something. King f6, king g4. King d5 is not a move that would make any sense to play. Check. h6, king f6, king f8, king d8, d6 rather. And that was all she wrote. I just want to give credit for that game, because that was incredible. Just the shot he found in the end. And I don't e6, g4, a6, bishop e3, b4, knight e2. Okay, so bishop e7 was in fact played. Knight c3, e3. King e7, knight d5, c4. King c2, a5, b5. But the position is very straightforward, so I doubt that he's not going to lose this. Okay, so this is super fantastic. So knight d7, g4. Oh boy, this is actually this is touch and go stuff. G5. How much trouble are you in? Okay, guys. Does seem like the more logical move. Rook c5, knight b3. So yeah, cracking I don't think happens here. Bishop d3. Okay, so this is rook up to check. I don't know who saw what in this. It's a good question. It's to, how far did they see in this, and how much were they just kind of playing on instinct? King c3. Fantastic. All right. Okay. g6. Rook e3. So this position is, I believe, quite difficult for white. h3, h6. Yeah, they might move and do confusing things. Oh my god, such moves have been played. And I don't know, I mean, I don't know. It's impossible to generalize that kind of stuff. You could try. And now I mean, this just looks very, very solid, but maybe there's some long-term stuff going on. I don't know. We have transforms it into a highly technical endgame. And I'm not actually sure. So, all right, great. It's a scary move. On instinct. I don't know. This is just ugh. A4. Knight D2. Oh yeah. Pretty cromulent position here. Great. So I have a prediction that this game will not be as exciting as all that.
The magic of television.
King b4.
Okay. We do have the move Rook d4. Potentially, if you were really worried about your material, you could e5. Yeah. f5. Well, I'm just going to grab a pawn. Maybe c5. Bishop to e4. Boom. Check. Okay, so we're up to here. So bishop d2. White has a huge, nearly decisive advantage. Yeah, captures e5. Oh, yes. And chase the king. And, oh, my man, taking care of me. Very good answer. Rook e7, check. And the players have very quickly gotten themselves into a topical position. Right. Aha. White has done very well, in my view. Rook e7, check. Let's take a look. Now, last time I played c6 and I got myself into trouble. You got to calculate these kinds of lines in a blink of an eye. Bishop takes c6. It really does feel like it comes right out of some kind of Ruy Lopez, doesn't it? Knight c4. Rook to e6, and here we have it. For some reason, I thought this knight was coming to b6. Shush. Well, I'm just going to grab a pawn. Right. g5. I don't see that as very forcing at all. f3. And I want to capture on f3. Asking too much? Right. He went with rook h4.
I'm not hearing the applause.
Check.
He goes king c5.
And that looks okay. Something.
King b4.
Fantastic. Rook b6, check. Rook b1.
Definitely.
Check. Put your king on d6. You've got nothing to fear. Oh. Check. King to f5. Why did rook a1 have to be played? Well, now, rook b1. Going to make a sacrifice. Why did rook a1 have to be played? Check. Okay, very, very nice. e5. Knight on f3. Bishop c3. So a3 is on the board, right? Sense to toss in this move, bishop b4, c5. But rook c2. I was just going to say that this was the old line, bishop e6. Oh my word. Queen b5. Bishop d7, queen c4.
100%.
Bishop e6, queen b5. Well, wait a minute. Bishop d7, queen to c4. After we have some moves. What were they? Bishop e6. What's going on? Queen b5. Yes, I am done. Well, okay. Very, very nice defense. The e5. Knight c3, bishop e7 on the board. And he came up with this move, rook d1. Check. Deadbot shuffle. Something.
Or maybe it's even bishop g5.
And again, just to remind everybody who may be joining us late, your intentions are clear. Oh. Okay, let me take the pawn on g5. Okay, let me take the pawn on g5. Stay in the game. h6, knight f3. Bishop to e6. Rook to d2. And just for all the reasons you're saying, rook d8. Yeah, push him, baby. Right. Let's go to London and Alejandro. Alejandro, what do you make of this position? I thought g5 shut it down. g4 and then knight to d4. No, that was a brilliant. And knight g6, h5, followed by knight takes e5. Knight d7. Knight takes e6, guys. F takes e6. Rook e4. Okay. Knight f6. How about rook a4? Well, he's trying to create an imbalance, but it looks like it really boomeranged. a6. Knight e4. No. Knight c5. But b6. Knight d3.
I like that expression. I don't know. I think it was Tartikover. Tartikover said everything. Pin him and win him.
g3. Rook takes a6.
Right. I was going to say, I think it was in Viscount where it was Anish Gary White against Magnus Carlsen, and they played an incredibly theoretical winner where
Tempo move, yes.
Okay, for me. Knight g3. Rook on g4, yes. Knight f5. Oh, check.
Now, yes, looks position losing.
King f3, yes.
Knight d4.
Check. There is no threats. King e3 enough. h5. Also looks Queen's Gambit, yes.
Yes, pawn on e4.
Knight d6.
Prophylactical move. b4. Yes.
Every player must make signature. Rook a8.
Rook c4 immediately. Knight e7 should play.
He wants to take. Knight b2.
Rook d8. Yes.
By this time and this position. g3. My sandwich became cold now. Rook d2. Okay, check.
Yes.
King e3 enough. Rook g2 enough. What else? Then now, yes, but still fighting, still competing. King f3.
Rook g1.
Don't believe. And don't need, maybe. Yes. My idea, king e4.
Maybe b5. Yes.
White has difficult choice now. A take b5, okay. Maybe c take b5, yes. What else? Because another move, yes, leading to worse position. I don't see any change in position. What else?
Yes.
Time running. Threat mate in 1. Put knight on f5.
Yes.
Now have some difficulties. King d5.
Yes, very exciting.
Okay, c4, yes. Rook d1. Very hard game.
Yes.
Maybe king d4.
Knight f5. Check. King c3.
At least I can take on c4. Let to watch. Okay.
Rook maybe take on c4.
Rook a1.
Yes.
Should play some again sharp. Should put some fire. Benzene to fire, like we can tell.
What about knight? Okay, king d2.
Rook b3. Okay, but not.
Yes.
But maybe some tactical threat. Rook b4. Knight take b4. h4. Yes, he found.
b6.
h3.
Yes. Knight d. Check. Yes.
Now I will play only. Yes, king e6. To push your passed pawn. Of course, why not?
Yes.
What now? All pieces can be pinned by black.
Yes.
Check. In d4 is centralization.
Yes.
Queen a3.
Checks.
King d4. Queen d2.
Checks.
My idea, king e4. Maybe he didn't see right plan.
Yeah. Knight e3. King d3. What about knight? Okay, king d2. And yes. Tempo move, yes. Most probably after knight d2. Yes.
So, what now? Capture on b2. Reside.
Yes.
His opponent knight c3 decide to play.
So better chances. Yes. Knight bd7.
Believe me, it will be many surprise in this. Bishop g3, bishop f8. I don't like this move. Yes, looks not natural. Yes. This some variation played also some Dutch players like Ivan Sokolov also playing. Bishop e5.
What about the b5 move?
It seems losing position.
Yes.
Material advantage for white.
Yes.
Time is running. He wake up. He stand up, yes.
Yes. Start to play sharp. Knight f4, knight g5, don't believe.
Trying to make triangle.
Yes.
Should develop black pieces somehow.
Bishop d7.
He will give all.
Yes.
F3 tempo move.
Rook c8 maybe.
Queen d2, yes. Queen d2. Should develop black pieces somehow. And play, for example, c5. Knight c3.
Yes.
Start to create something new in chess. What about c4? Bishop take f6. Take f6. Very fast playing. Queen d8 looks interesting.
Yes. Maybe he will take.
Knight e6 coming.
Cool move. Now, yes.
Yes, rook fd1, yes. Make tension. He faced troubles. Yes. Bishop d6.
Yes.
Interesting decision, but knight c3, what he has? I didn't see position well. Some decision I don't like this before move. Now all queen side pawns became weak. I don't like this move. Yes, looks not natural.
So, yes.
Knight yes. It seems he is winning.
c3.
He has decision. But I think he should take on c3.
Very interesting decision. Yes.
He has decision. But I think he should take on c3. What about queen e1? Normal solid move trying to improve position.
Bishop e6. Bishop e4. Trying to win.
Queen g5.
Now, yes.
Don't believe. And don't need maybe. Yes. But need to remove knight.
Yes.
Should fight for draw.
King h2.
Defend everything. Yes. Rook c7. Or eventually, can white get mate here?
Queen e7.
Yes. What to play looks cannot defend. Knight b5.
Rook c4. He's playing sharp. Yes.
What about knight d6? Knight d6 trying to put knight in center.
So now, so many ideas. Rook d8.
Knight b7. Rook c8. What's interesting? What happened? Knight c5. Knight c5. Aha. Where is knight d3? Where is some squares for knight?
Rook takes c5. Rook d1. Yes.
By the way, alcoholic drink is not allowed in public place. g5.
f4.
Now, after, okay, rook c3, of course.
Yes.
Rook d3. Looks, it's analyzed. What to play now? Rook c5, king g3, yes.
Yes.
Should play king g7. Rook d2.
Rook b5 immediately. Surprise.
King f3. G take f4 is losing.
Looks he will lose this game. By bad luck and bad. Now he's playing so bad. Rook b5. Rook d4.
Rook b3. Okay, but not.
Check.
Rook d3. Chess legend.
Yes. Rook b5 immediately.
Bishop c6. Okay, what's knight doing on? But maybe h5.
Yes. g4 maybe.
Not easy to find the move. Rook c3, yes. He must know something. But why not take on g4?
And if he wins this game, guys, after facing such a powerful novelty, it'll just be incredible. We should keep our eye on the time pressure, the time management. 6. But guess what? For the king on g3, the center is already breaking open. Bishop d5. Bishop c6. So now it's work. Of course, Bishop d5. And this simply wins the game. Rook a7 played instantly. Check again. King f8, but still white has a slight edge. And king e7. Incredible technique. Rook a7 played instantly. With check, king f8, rook to d7, bishop e4. So this spectacular move. Rook a7 played instantly. Rook d4. No, you can't play bishop e2. Bishop to d3 was played. Some really nice moves. Check, king f2. He just played rook b3. You get f5 and look. And g5, f6, king f8, f7. Now stuff's getting crazy. g4 is clearly a winning move. Rook to a1, rook c1, king e7, rook to a1, king e2. He just played rook b3, rook c1, rook c1. King to g7 is being given. Rook to a1, king g6. Rook to c1, king f5. Rook to a1, I don't care about your compensation. Rook to c3, rook to c1. Now rook to a1, and now rook to b1, and king h4 was played. King h3, king g1 with check. Rook to a1, well, and now rook to b1. And then check king g1, rook to a1. Didn't necessarily lead to anything, but it was a sharpening of the game with a concrete threat. And now rook to b1, but rook c1, rook to b1, rook to a1. Now rook to b1. According to the engines, you go down 23. Rook to f1. This game is over, or at least technically speaking, it's over. Guys, e5, an interesting move. Knight c3, bishop on e7. And now rook d1 with check. That's a really bad development for him. I mean, forcing king to e8 and then bishop to g5. Wow, trickery by the engine. As a principle, sometimes you have to move the same piece twice in a game, or maybe even 3 times. This is going to be a challenge. Guess what? That's going to cost you time on the clock. H6, knight f3. And after bishop to e6, rook d2. And according to the supercomputers in this position, king g5 would have led to mate in 26. Put a rook on d8. We're just taking everything. It's just like a vacuum. I'm not going to deal with this g5 idea anymore. h3, that's for sure. Knight e7. h4 is, I must be winning. g4, so suddenly this knight can go in d4. He's got the guts and the fortitude, but he's in the middle of it right now. This is a thick fight. This idea of h5, he didn't have to allow it. Come on. But after knight takes e5, what are you talking about? Knight to d7. Rook takes on e6, check. But check this position out. Rook to e4. And suddenly all of white's pieces are just yum yum, here I come. Knight to f6, rook a4. Finally, but he has one little bit of spanking to do maybe, just to say, hey, don't think you're going to be chasing me down anytime soon. b6, knight on d3, and g3. So that small difference is going to be a huge difference. So check. So there'll be no rest. And now very precise, king to e7. This is fantastic. Rook a4, c5. And rook to e4, check. And he's playing with. Let's go. No. Isn't that the main line? Knight f6, right? It's the right move. And he can still play rook f4. The king on e6, king f2. The engines are giving as the best move right now, h5. The more we looked at it with the engine, at least, it started to look very promising. Rook to d8. No. a4. And now the engine says, well, knight g4. At first, giving black the edge. And I'm going to start hunting you down on this side of the board with the king on g3. No biggie, but b4. The knight e3 indeed was a great move. There's just nothing here. And check, well, really showed us a sparkling game. c4, rook to g8, check. So I think it's probably not enough to win the game. And now the computers go really nuts. Rook f6 immediately with check, and now very precise, king to e7. He's slippery, huh? Rook h6. In this position, check. I must be winning. King to e4, check. And the game continues. Rook to d4 trick. It's going to be merciless checks. Well, but he has one little bit of spanking to do, maybe, just to say, hey, don't think you're going to be chasing me down anytime soon. This is just a ridiculous position. And my bad. Took on h5. He is not one known to back down. And it's sticking out like a little pinky. Rook h7 with check, king to f6 was played. This gets a little nuts as well. Just taking on c4 with check. That's not going to happen, folks. Just taking on c4. You have to help me. What's your next move? With check, king e3. And knight c3. And, of course, strong players get this technique down immediately. Rook h4. Tactics with knight b5 even was played. Wow, I'm just looking at the game now, and they're in the position. Okay, king to e4, knight a3. King to e4, knight a3. It's absolutely distinct who is suffering and who is relaxed. King g5. This crazy move, and of course, so suddenly this knight can go in d4, knight c6. I don't care about all those demonstrations of tactics. I still have the position under control. Check, king f6, prove it. Rook to a1, knight e7. Rook to b1, showing his fighting spirit. Rook to a1, check, king g5. Rook to a1, and I just judge the position. Rook to b1. It still works, even with the king on f5. Check, king to e4. That doesn't seem right at all. I'm thinking your rook, you could go to h1, put the king on g3. Rook to a1, rook to b1, rook to b7, knight to g1 is a beautiful move. Genius, rook f7, king e3. Well, now, and the sudden knight to c1 shows up, king e3. And then rook g7, king d1, another check. And what's amazing about this position is the game, knight c3, castled instantly, but knight bd7, queen c2, rook to e8. All right, I don't know what's going on, something weird. Well, guess what happened? I mean, just absolutely amusing. Angels are giving triple zeros. Prove it. If I may just throw in this idea, the engines give after takes. What were you thinking about that? Prove it. The modern player lives with engines. The modern player lives with the assessments that engines give, and they are looking at variation on variation on variation many times over. The engines are actually agreeing that white's only a bit better, not dramatically so. Yeah. You're not getting anything on this file. Rook to b8. So in this position, though your instincts, or at least according to the engine, are on point, like a tiger. So, no. Bishop g3, maybe I'm not winning. Maybe I make a mistake in some table-based position. It's clear. I don't think even rook 8 instead of rook a6. Bishop to h4. Essentially, this move threatens just about nothing. This rook to b8. But when I first saw it, the computer suggested, I was like, what are you doing? The engine's already actually up at 6 points. Okay, king h1. And so this is just actually fizzling out. And nothing else to think about. But rook to b7. According to the engines, you go down 23. So I think it's probably not enough to win the game, and the game continues. What more can you want? And of course, check. So after that, so a tactical wrinkle starting quite early in this game. And after king to h8, bishop d3 has been played. Watch out. Well, now, knight to g1's beautiful move, running fast. Even that's not completely clear. But guess what? Rook to c1. But he has one little bit of spanking to do, maybe, just to say, hey, don't think you're going to be chasing me down anytime soon. Takes on d6. b3. Next best move. Knight f3 was played. Bishop f5. This position is not so easy. Knight to e5. f6. Knight f3. Crazy stuff. Queen e7. And there are no complicated tactics to calculate. King g1. But, and I appreciate the engine's first response, which is after bishop to e6, knight to d2. Maybe a little bit trickier. Bishop f7, take on e4. Sorry, takes on e4, that's what. And queen on c5. And the game changes character dramatically with this move. Rook 8 instead of rook a6. This one looks like it's really a tremendous edge for white. I would say he's winning. Was played. You see how focused he is. a4, b4. What a way to use a tempo. Bishop d5. But he was actually fine here, according to the engines. Hard to believe. And suddenly the move knight h5, queen d7. Black, rook e1. accelerating the complications in the game. I'm here as the computer guy. Yes. You're going nowhere. This bishop could drop back to f7, rook 8 instead of rook a6. It looked like white had a lot more than it seemed from your line, and it actually is true. I mean, look at this. The move rook to e1. Simple positional idea. By the way, it's not even that simple. Rook f1. Queen c2. And great work. Rook a7 played instantly. Queen c5. Bishop d5. Rook f to e1. He's not playing this just for fun right now. In this position, absolutely. I mean, queen to c2, it just looks ridiculous. And after rook to f1, trying to guard, but queen c5. So queen c2, g5. And this attack is now overwhelming. Knight takes on d5. Take on d5. This idea of h5, he didn't have to allow it. Yeah, something like that. From a human standpoint, the engines are going gaga. They're saying this is completely over, of course. Rook to c2, queen d7. What's going on? I mean, king g6. And
the bishop could almost get itself trapped, right? Knight d8. They have this position. Knight f1. Can an argument be made for queen b1, by the way? Oh, yes. King g7. Nothing has happened.
h4.
Rook c5 on the board. Card-carrying member of Pawn Grubbers. Right. Put the rook on b5. He's played king g6. Fantastic.
Rook c8.
But, okay, I do like queen d1. I'm contemplating f4, actually. And I want to capture on f3. Okay, so your rook c5 looked more frightening to me.
Rook c8.
Knight g3. But now, deadly check. You got to calculate these kinds of lines in a blink of an eye. King h6. Check. He's played king g6. King h6. Right. Okay, very, very nice. Thank you. Bye-bye. e5 captures e5. Bishop d7. And he came up with this move rook d1. I recall it quite painful. Very good. Knight g5. Winning the house. b3. It means that correct. b6. Rook David 3. No kidding. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Forced on the defensive. And it's a terrible defense. You did something crazy, a5. Bishop to e7. Your intentions are clear. I've got a chance of getting to your king more than you've got a chance of getting to my king. on f3. Don't sacrifice the bishop. Knight h4. Bad need of a win. Knight f5.
Miasser's next book, The Sunny Side of the Torture.
He determined, okay, well, let me just get my knight out of the way. He played knight e2, or good for black. Aha. c5.
Okay, so basically he's given the move to me.
Knight f4, c4, even just knight d5. Okay, and they're, very, very tense moves indeed. I don't see that as very forcing at all. Yeah. I thought that was a nifty way. Knight f5. It does make sense indeed. c6, knight e3. Yeah. Very quickly played. Rook takes c3. Bishop b7. Why rush? Wow. He just played rook on d1. That looks terrible. c5. Check. Okay.
No, no. Now I start wondering, have I blown it? I don't know. Did I blow it?
Rook d8. Rook d7. Don't I? No. Yeah, I am. I'm a pawn grubber. Check. This bishop on e5 is a very powerful bishop. Check. Bishop back to g3. One of the really important parts of endgame play is patience. Patience, and wow. Okay, it's time to go in. And after h3, I thought g5 shut it down. Look at you guys go. King e6. Whoa. Rook e7. Check. And after king f5, d7. Rook d8. Indeed, that's exactly what we have gotten. Bishop takes d7. Forgot his preparation. Bishop takes b6. Bishop e6. Boy, it sure looked like he just had such a huge advantage. Bishop b6. Right. It's all action, action. He's played king g6. We're in new territory now. f3. Right.
What am I going to guess? I'm getting at h4. Bishop e1. All right, so this is as far as we got, and it's an exciting position, but it looks like black is pretty solid. Nigel Short plays g4 a lot. Check. No. This is very, very complicated. King g2. Yeah. Very delicate. King g6. Oh, yeah, f5 or something. Looks like a complete draw. F4, G4, H4 or something. It's only once you become a Zug master that you are able to take back moves. Bishop F7. I guess white has some counterplay. I just think this is a very difficult position. I have said that. This is a very difficult position. But, like, maybe black isn't doing as well as I think. This is... okay. Bishop E1. Okay, so this is... what else we got? What is it? Bishop D2. King G6. Bishop C3. Wait, so why is this a thing? Something. I forget what. It doesn't look like white has anything particularly interesting to do. Bishop E1. Bishop F7. So we have two really good chess players playing each other at the same time. So Bishop G3. And now moves are occurring. King G2. King G6. All right, good technique going here. Check. But is it winning? Okay, so well, so this is an important game. So is just King D5. That's kind of depressing. Bishop G3. Bishop F7. Actually, King G2. King E4. I was pretty excited about that. Not exciting. King G3. Bishop F7. Oh wait. King D5. And then maybe that's some serious Fred play. Wait, King E4? Alright, Bishop F7. It's really frustrating. It makes you very tilty. And then King F2. There's nothing you can do here. Right, okay. Bishop G6. Wait, King E4? There's a certain amount of tilt that's just going to probably happen. King G3. King D5. I prefer black. Oh, wait. Are we... wait. Bishop F7. Bishop E1. Bishop C3. Ah! Oh, well. Bishop F7. Bishop E1. God damn it. Bishop D2. Shout out to my cat. I mean, not literally shout out to my cat, because I don't think he'd like it if I shouted at him. I mean, I wouldn't. King G2. Bishop B4. Bishop F7. Bishop C3. Wait, King E4? But King G3. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could... no. Bishop G6. Bishop C3. King E7. Oh, King to D6. King C5. Bishop C3. King C4 makes a lot more sense. As strangely as it may seem, sometimes getting what you want isn't what you want. I feel like that's... so, here we'd have to, well, we would lose is what would happen here, is actually, this completely wins for white. There you have it. Okay, see you. E5. Knight F6. That's what's going on. e4. So we're watching it. We're watching it. G3. Oh, snap! Yeah, bishop d4 was played. D4 or something. The rest of the technique. How does rook e8 help? Oh, yeah, but I mean, okay, yeah. This is just very much, again, not to repeat myself, but this kind of looks like one of those positions where one side is winning. Knight on d5. So the question is, try it. Probably okay. Bishop d5. My name is Natural Master John Chernoff, also known as Zug Addict. Oh man, a5. Immediately h3. I don't actually understand this opening at all. Okay. Ah, God, there's so many things. You know, this is scary shit. Oh, sorry, wait. The remarkable bishop e6 doesn't seem to produce the desired results. a4. He's a multifaceted, well-rounded chess player. We have, yeah, knight b6 here. I actually, now that I look at this, I start realizing that, yeah, this can't be good. Like, I mean, they could agree to a draw. I can't. Really doing well. Bishop c2. Oh, wait. This is like huge stakes. Huge stakes. Huge stakes. Knight d2. Bishop d5. Little confused by that. Queen d3. g6. Just that seems like a very reasonable approach to the position. Check. I guess he was thinking, oh, okay, I go here and then I go here. Okay. c4. Seriously going for it here. But what is he going for is the question. D5? Am I supposed to be making the moves, or are they going to be making the moves? This happened, and it's just like rook e3. Yeah. I'd be very, very sad if I had this position as white. Queen on f6. On the other hand, there isn't really much going on in the game. Okay. Bishop a6. Bishop d3. Do we have any moves? Okay, so a4. There's, yeah, a move that I had not thought about at all. So let's keep going. So h5, rook f3. Yeah. So that's, yeah. If I was Nakamura in this position, I might have some idea what to do here. Queen d8, queen c3. But, you know, I mean, not in some sort of, like... Okay, so knight d7 was played. Then after that, as strangely as it may seem, sometimes getting what you want isn't what you want. Knight c5, queen e3, queen d6. There's no way I would know that. All right, so it happened. Bishop e6. Like, how is this complicated? This isn't complicated at all. Queen g5. All right, so now, maybe check. What the fuck? But I don't know. Check. Honestly, I don't know if it's winning. Probably not. Probably not even close to winning. And then, and the queen drops back to g6. Check, check. And that didn't work. Queen g5. Check. So this is bad. Oh. Rook e3. Okay, a bunch of moves are happening. Queen d8. What? Check. Very proud. King g7. Knight e4. This is just about as equal as you're ever going to be. Bishop c8. Oh my god. And knight takes c5. As we'll see, this is with a mind not so much to win, but to embarrass. Queen on f6. Queen e2. I don't know. I mean, actually, I feel like I'm not sure. Queen g5. No. Knight e6. Check. Bear with me. You can try. Rook e8. e7. And that's sad. No, a3 was played. Okay, sorry. And I don't know. I mean, queen f5, just wrecking balls the whole thing. Oh, I mean, the contours of this game have already kind of, they're fairly clear. Oh man, check. King g7, questionable square here. King g2. And the queen drops back to g6. Okay, so it just sort of, yeah, okay. Oh, that's kind of neat. All right, check. Okay, so a4, and we're golden. Yeah, a5. What looks a bit desperate, but actually makes a lot of sense. A6. C6. What am I going to guess? I'm going to guess how this game is going to go. Queen takes c6. An amazing move. Rook e7 now. And then after his, I don't know, queen b6. Yeah, it's not a good sign when I'm predicting your moves. No, it's true. King g7. How does rook e8 help? G4. This f-pawn could go all the way. G5. King g7. Ah, so a queen goes to f6 immediately. We lost in somewhat controversial circumstances. But it was a fantastic game. D5. Bishop g5. No, a3 was played. Okay, sorry. Check. b5. All right, so a lot of moves have just happened. Now, e4 is a good move. And then black could be like, well, okay, that's true. Probably should have thought about that before I made my move. H6. Okay, what does the computer say? G5. Jeez. I mean, it really depends how much you want to stick stuff in your opponent's face, I guess. And, you know, who knows? Nah! What's the point of going crazy? Jesus! C5. That's what's happening at the moment. And then E5. All right. Yeah, so, okay. So this is a key position. It's actually very instructive. As usual, black has the more active pieces and stuff, but I don't know. It does feel like the logical move. Whatever. A little stutter step here. I mean, okay, if it was me playing white, I'd collapse. Well, is my idea. So rook c8 was played, do rather mediocrely. So yeah. What are you gonna do about h4 because I moved there? Castles. Jesus. So g4. Although this might get really weird. That's super brilliant. E5. That's what's happening at the moment. Whatever. Unless it's like lifting weights or something. And rook h3. I'm not sure what to make in this position. And then palatable. What? That kind of matters. Like, I mean, this is extremely easy. King c3, a5. Sorry. All right. That's some serious Fred play. Rook b1. Bishop a6. So this is, oh boy, this is gonna be. So wow. I don't know why we're playing bishop e2. Yeah, I don't know what. But you know, the thing is man, this is a little harder than I thought it would be. Okay, so rook d1, rook b8. I don't know, make some sort of symbolic attempt at an advantage here. I could see him possibly getting in a tiny bit of trouble. Bishop e6, absolutely brutal. Rook f3. Wow. I don't know, make some sort of symbolic attempt at an advantage here. I could see him possibly getting in a tiny bit of trouble. King d4, a little stutter step here. b4, yeah. This is going to be a draw. Well, rook e1, very, very wonky. Okay, so rook e8. White played a really stupid move. Or, check. Wow. King d5. White's lost a million, Tempe. Rook e3. Maybe it's a win. Rook e7 now. Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of moves. All right, rook b8, check. Incredibly obvious moves. Wow. King to d6. King g6. Oh yeah, look at that square. Look at that square of squareness. Check. Yeah, this was the idea. So rook b8. Wait, no. Check. Those are some pawns, and they're everywhere. And all right, rook b8. Rook a5, check. You know, this obviously is one. King to d6. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. Check. It's not that simple. So rook b8. Because rook e6 looks like a move that people might play. King d7, check. Rook b6, check. I can't seem to move the things. All right, so we got, okay, all right. Check. That's insane. King g6. h5 might have been a mistake. Check. To prevent, presumably, any nonsense on this diagonal. King g6. b3, like I predicted. But I don't think it's bad. It's just ambitious. Bishop d5. And rook h3. And, you know, who knows? Rook b6. Rook e3. Good technique going here. And now everything's just a mess. I don't know what else to say about it. So yeah. I got a second. I got my. Wow. Okay. Oh God. Lots of moves were played. King g6. You know, rook b6 or something. I mean, check. I retired after I beat Kurt von Barleben in a match. After that, I realized that was the pinnacle of my chess career, and retired. And by 1955, yeah. Okay, so rook d7, check. Queen d3. Yeah, it's over. There's nothing. This game was nonsense, and I'm not going to look at it because it's ridiculous. c5, a6. And then bishop g7, h3. This actually happened. Then after that, knight f6. God, I can't. Oh. It's quite possible there isn't really anything to be made of this position anyhow. What? Castles. I kind of feel like black is doing well here. Castles. Let's see what's going on. And now everything's just a mess. Knight c6. Yeah, so, I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is I'm confused. Yeah, e5. Knight d5. I expect a draw to be agreed. Wait, what's wrong with... And, so that was pretty exciting. Okay, these two are really in simpatico. You know, I mean, that's exciting and shit. I feel like that's bishop c... There. What's on your mind? Oh my god, that's... How you do this? Oh, shit. Yeah, everything's good if you could play d5 here. So moves have been played. Moves that I had not anticipated have occurred. Bishop e2. Okay, after thinking for a little bit, I get the impression that White's position is poo. Ugh. Queen b6. Pretty crazy. Kind of amazing. h4. g4. So, all right. So things have happened that don't look interesting. All right. I'm tired. This is exhausting. a5. Maybe the best thing to do is just play something like something else. Yeah. f4. Bishop f5. Big decision. But it's not in reality that bad. As far as the computer's concerned, this is basically extremely equal. f6. I mean, or yeah, you get the idea. c4 is possible, is it not? And this is all extremely exciting. So h5, bear with me. a4. Oh, moves have been played. No, a3 was played. Okay, sorry. What? This doesn't look that bad. Ah! You know, it sort of deserved a better fate a bit. At that point, do rather mediocrely. Rook c8, g3. If I was me,